Good morning, everyone. Today's topic is continuation of yesterday's topic. So we are left with only one topic, that is nomenclature of aromatic compounds, that we will discuss today. And in between, if you have any doubts, you can give a reply. If you have a doubts, you can ask. And if I ask any question, you can also give the reply. There is no issue at all. Right. So see here, some of the compounds are there that we will discuss. The first one is what? Benzene sulfonic acid. Why we can call it as benzene sulfonic acid? Because SO3H is, we know very well, it is sulfonic acid and it is attached to what? Benzene. That is the reason it can be called as benzene sulfonic acid. Benzene sulfonic acid. And the second one is what? It's very simple. As chlorine is attached to the benzene, we can call it as chlorobenzene. We can call it as chlorobenzene. And bromine attached to the benzene, and we can call it as bromobenzene. And see here, now two functional groups are present here. One is COOH and another one is NO2. And we know according to priority, the first priority will go to COOH. So that is the reason the carbon which attached to the COOH will be given number one. As we are giving number in the the highest priority and the lowest number will be given to the carbon which attached to the COH, which attached to the COH. All right. So now at third position, what is there? Nitro group. So we can call it as 3-nitro-benzoic acid. We know very well this is benzoic acid. COH is benzoic acid. And at third position, what exactly is there? Nitro group is there. That is the reason we can call it as 3-nitro-benzoic acid. And OCH3, already we discussed in ethers. In ethers, there what we used to call lowest group, like the chain which consists of lower number carbons, it can be called or it can be added oxy. So here methoxy group is there. Methoxy group is attached to what? What now you tell me? Yesterday we discussed, no? See, what is this? What is this? Yesterday we discussed. Yes, toluene. It is, yes, exactly. It is toluene. But here as IUPAC nomenclature, we have to give C as it is OCH3 is a, here it is ether functional group. So it will be given number 1, 2, 3. And third position, what is there? Methyl. First position, what is there? Methoxy. So we can call 1 methoxy, 3 methyl benzene. 1 methoxy, 3 methyl benzene. Am I clear? 1 methoxy, 3 methyl benzene. Because at first position methoxy group is there and third position methyl is there and it all together on benzene. That is the reason 1 methoxy, 3 methyl benzene. Now we'll see next some dihydric and polyhydric phenols. And we know what is phenol. On benzene, if you have OH, then this can be called as phenol. This is phenol. All right. So here, but it is disubstituted. See, one more OH is there at ortho position. One more hydroxy group is present at third position, that is meta position. One more hydroxy group is present at fourth position, that is para position. Yesterday we discussed orthoxylene, metaxylene, paraxylene. When two CH3s are there, right? When two OH groups are there, then the common names are catechol, resorcinol, quinol. If it is ortho, catechol. If it is meta, resorcinol. If it is para, quinol. Right? And it is common names. But when it comes to the IUPAC nomenclature, it is benzene. On benzene, first position and second position, we have diol. And resorcinol is what? Benzene. On first position and third position, we have diols. And the same way here, benzene 1, 4, diol. Am I clear? Am I clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, see here, 2-nitrotoluene. Why we can call it as 2-nitrotoluene? We know very well. Just now I told you, when on benzene, if CH3 is present, and at second position, because it will be given 1 and it will be given 2, then second position will be called artho position also, and it can be called 2-nitrotoluene or artho-nitrotoluene. It can be called either 2-nitrotoluene or artho-nitrotoluene. And we know that OH on benzene, if OH is there, then that can be called phenol. And at second position, fourth position, and sixth position, we have nitro groups. And how many nitro groups we have? 3. So what we have to call? Tri. So 2 comma 4 comma 6 trinitrophenol. Trinitrophenol, right? See, and this can be also called picric acid. What is that? Picric acid. This is very, very important. See, in higher studies, we will come to know about it. Picric acid. So what is meant by picric acid? 2 comma 4 comma 6 trinitrophenol. This is also called TNP. In the same way, we have TNT. This is an explosive. So in explosives, we will use this. Okay. What is this? Trinitrotoluene. Trinitrotoluene. And we know what is toluene. This is toluene. Trinitro group means at second position, at fourth position, at sixth position. Right? So this is called trinitrotoluene. Trinitrotoluene. So there on benzene, whatever the disubstituted and monosubstituted we discussed. Now here this is one more important compound that we need to learn, because from this many of halides in grade 12, our first organic lesson is halocarbons and haloarenes. That means haloalkanes and haloarenes. In there we will discuss all types of haloarenes. Haloarenes means on arene, like on benzene ring. If you want to introduce chlorine, bromine, iodine, fluorine, and during, if you want to introduce those things, then we need to have an intermediate and we need to have a starting compound. What is that? Benzene diazonium chloride. And this is also called arene diazonium salts. Arene, because as it is aromatic compounds, we can call it as a arene. See here, cyclic ring. Cyclic ring is there. So now here, if as we have a benzene here, this is benzene. So benzene, diazonium. See, first of all, we need to understand it. Why we can call it as benzene diazonium chloride. Benzene diazonium chloride. So here we know benzene, as we have a benzene. Benzene is okay, I know. And what is this diazonium, sir? See, diazonium is when there is a bond exists between two nitrogens, then that can be called as azo group. That can be called as azo. Are you able to understand? When there is a double bond and we are calling diazo because two nitrogens are there. That is the reason diazo. And IUM, when IUM will come, I already told you, sodium, potassium, IUM. IUM means which charge? Positive charge. IUM means positive charge. So diazonium. So on nitrogen, two nitrogens are there. See here, nitrogen, triple bond nitrogen is there and plus charge. So that is the reason diazonium. And what exactly is there? Another one, chlorine, right? And it is consist of negative charge. So we have to call ID. We need to add it as IDE. I already told you IUM. If it ends with IUM, mostly these are all positive. If it ends with IDE, they are negative. See, for example, fluoride, bromide, iodide, right? All these are, they ends with, they are end up with IDE. That means F minus, Cl minus, oxide. Are you able to understand? If see, for example, positive ions, most of the electropositive elements, if you see, potassium, sodium, magnesium, all these things, they are end up with IUM. IUM means positive. IDE means negative. So here I have a benzene, I have diazonium, and even I have chloride. So that is the reason this can be called as benzene diazonium chloride. From the starting from the starting material, from the starting material,
we can prepare chlorobenzenes, we can prepare bromobenzenes, we can prepare iodobenzene, we can prepare fluorobenzenes. All types of haloarenes we can prepare, and even directly benzene also we can prepare. Even phenol also can be prepared from this by having different reactions, and some of the named reactions are also there. Sandmeyer reaction will be there, and Getterman reaction will be there. Wall-Schiemann reaction is there, right? Many such named reactions are there, but for all those things, the starting material is benzene diazonium chloride. Benzene diazonium chloride in presence of HCl, NaNO2, and at lower temperatures, aniline. When aniline reacts, this can be prepared from, see, anyway, in organic chemistry, in the next lessons, we will learn all these things, but it can be prepared from aniline. What is aniline? On benzene, if we have NH2 group, then we can call it as aniline. Aniline, and from HNO2 as well as HCl in presence of lower temperature, that is 0 to 5 degrees, then we will get a saffron color dye kind type of material, that is benzene diazonium chloride. Benzene diazonium chloride. So did you all understand? Because it is very very important, that is the reason I took this much of time to explain it. See, here it is also, it is very simple. Benzene, yes. Benzene, we have a benzene, and we have diazonium, yes, N triple bond N, we have a diazonium. And what exactly is there? Hydrogen sulfate, that he given here. It is very simple. The naming is very simple here. Benzene diazonium hydrogen sulfate. Am I clear, everyone? Am I clear? Am I clear, everyone? Am I clear, everyone? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. All right. Now, next, see on benzene. If you see on benzene, and we can call, see, there are two things will be there. This can be called as cyanide, and this can be called as isocyanate. Generally, we will call this. So, either way, it can be attached to the benzene, right? So, here we can call it as the common name for this carbonitrile. It is also called benzonitrile. And what is this? C triple bond N. This can be called as cyanide. N triple bond C. If it is attached with, if it is attached through N, then we can call it as isocyanate. Are you able to understand? I think you might have listened about cyanide. It is very very dangerous. It is very very dangerous, right? So cyanide as well as isocyanate. If it is attached, benzene ring is attached through carbon, then it is called benzonitrile. And if it is attached to the nitrogen, then we can call phenyl isocyanide. Phenyl isocyanide or benzene isonitrile. Benzene isonitrile, and here it can be called as benzene carbonitrile. Benzene isonitrile or benzene isonitrile. See this one, and we know carboxylic acids. When we have a carboxylic acid, we'll give first priority to that only, and this can be called as benzoic acid. Already we discussed this one. This is benzoic acid, and this also can be called as benzene carboxylic acid. And if you see here, what are the different names that we have here? At second position, we have a methyl. At second position, we have a methyl, and it is benzene. And so we can call 2-methyl benzene carboxylic acid, common nomenclature and common name we can call, and otherwise we can call it as orthotoluene acid. Orthotoluene acid. Why? This is toluene, this is toluene, and see, if you consider it as a one, this is the chain, this is toluene at ortho position. Beside to the one, if you consider CH3 is a main functional group, and beside to that it can be called as ortho group, 1 2 position. So there it is COH. So orthotolic acid. And actual name, what even other name also we can call, what is that? At second position methyl group is there. That is the reason 2-methyl benzoic acid. We can call it as 2-methyl benzoic acid. Am I clear? Am I clear? 2-methyl benzoic acid. And see, when do you, if you have a 2 carboxylic acids, then what is the name? Benzene 1 comma 2 dicarboxylic acid. Benzene 1 comma 2 dicarboxylic acid. Dicarboxylic acid. The other name of this is phthalic acid. What is that? Phthalic acid. From this we can prepare phthalic anhydride, and from this compound in grade 12 in amines we have an amide reaction, that is Gabriel phthalimide synthesis. Right there we have a one more reaction that we can prepare, and there we need to understand about it. So now itself you please try to remember all these structures, right? And we have some of the examples. We'll do some 5 to 6 examples and we'll start today. Isomerism, I'll give a brief description about isomerism. So uh, so let us finish off these things very fastly. Okay, all right. See now, if you see here, how many functional groups are there around the benzene? Yes, COOH is there, NO2 is there, chlorine is there, and OH is there. And we know very well, as priority order, highest priority will be there for what? COOH. Highest priority will be there for COOH. As if you consider COOH as as we know, it is the highest prioritized, so this carbon will be considered as 1. So this carbon is, it will be numbered as 1. Now the question is whether the numbering will has to go this clockwise or anti-clockwise. Clockwise or anti-clockwise. If you go anti-clockwise, what are the things? What are the other things we have? One, at second position nitro is there, third position chlorine is there, and fifth position hydroxyl group is there. Hydroxy group is there. What is hydroxy group? OH. It is very simple, one hydrogen is there, one oxygen is there. Hydroxy, right? So total together 8, 10, 11. If you go and if you follow clockwise direction, then what will happen? This will become 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now please calculate 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6. How much total? 9 plus 6, 15. So out of that, which one is the least? Lowest sum rule? 11. So which way is correct? Which way is correct? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? Anti-clockwise is
Anti-clockwise.
correct. Exactly. Anti-clockwise is correct. So we'll give the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Now, anyway, I know it is benzoic acid. Benzoic acid. And what are the substituents are there that we have to write in front of it? So what are the things we have? What are the things we have? At third position, we have chloro. And second position, we have nitro. Fifth position, we have hydroxy. But according to alphabetical order, which one will come first? C, H, N. Which one will come first? C. So 3 chloro, 5 hydroxy, 2 nitrobenzoic acid. Right? I think I'm clear. 3 chloro, 5 hydroxy. At third position, chlorine is there. Fifth position, hydroxy group is there, and second position, nitro group is there. Right? Chalo. We'll see the next example. See here, and this is the benzene ring. This is the benzene ring, and first position anyway we have a ester group. This is ester group. What is ester group? R C double bond O R. Right? C. Yes. C double bond O C2H5 is there, and this side another carbon chain is there. So it is ester group. And what is this? Carbonyl chloride.
COCl. See, according to priority order, carbonyl chloride will be later after ester only, right? It will be after ester. So the first priority will be given to ester. First priority will be given to ester. Right. Now, what we have, this is called benzoate. Whenever benzene is attached to the ester group, we can call benzoate. What benzoate is? Ethyl benzoate. Why it is called ethyl benzoate? See, generally, if we have like this, C double bond O, O C2H5. See, C2H5 is ethyl group. We know very well. Yes or no? C2H5 is ethyl group. And this biggest group, whatever it is there, we can call at the end, we have to write O8. So we know general name is alkyl alkanoate. Alkyl alkanoate. Here, what is alkyl group? Ethyl. Ethyl benzenoate or ethyl benzoate. What is this? Ethyl benzoate. But at second position, what we have? Carbonyl chloride, or we can say chlorocarbonyl. Chlorocarbonyl. That is the reason ethyl 2 position. At second position, we have what? Chlorocarbonyl. Because what is this? This is a substituent. And to the substituent, again substituent is there. That is the reason we kept in parenthesis. That is brackets. Right? So chlorocarbonyl benzoate. Ethyl 2 chlorocarbonyl benzoate. Right? See this example, please try. So here first priority must be given to what? Either OH and NH2. First priority has to given to what? Alcohol or amine? Alcohol, exactly, right. So the first priority will be given to alcohol. Right. So we'll start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So we know that it is phenol. It is phenol. And second position, what we have? Amino. Fifth position, what we have? Methyl. So 2-amino 5-methyl phenol. 2-amino 5-methyl phenol. Am I clear? Am I clear? Yes. Right. Thank you. So, like that, many examples are there. Actually, I already sent you all these things. Please go through it. And now we'll have a basic description about this, what we can say, isomerism. Right. So first only they are talking about degree of unsaturation and double bond equivalent, we can call this. And before to that, I will tell you what exactly is meant by isomerism. What exactly is meant by isomerism? Iso. See, always chemistry is such a easy subject. The name itself, it reveals maximum concept which is there or which is inside of it. So first try to understand its name. Try to understand its name. Right? So iso means what? Iso, same. Iso means same. Mers. Isomers. So here what I'm telling is structural formula is same. Oh, sorry, molecular formula is same. Generally, formula is same, but their structures may be different, or their position, the functional group position may be different, or their stereoisomers may be different. So such type of compounds can be called as isomers, and this is called isomerism. Iso means same, even though it consists of same molecular formula, they can be exist in two different ways. See, for example, we know aldehyde and ketone. See, I'm writing one aldehyde, CH3 CH2 C double bond OH. C double bond OH. Now, how many carbons we have here? 3. How many hydrogens we have? 6. And how many oxygens? We have
1. Right? This is what? Aldehyde. This is aldehyde. If you write ketone CH3, C double bond O, CH3. How many carbons again we have? 3. How many hydrogens we have? 6. How many oxygens we have? 1. So same formula showing different molecules, same molecular formula, but it exists in two different structures. All right. So their here the completely functional groups are also changed. So these are also called functional group isomers. And we have in that way we are segregated. Like actually we segregated isomers into two types. One is structural isomers. Another one is stereoisomers. What is structural isomers? The name itself it is telling structural. So there may be some changes in structure. There may be arrangement of atoms and groups may be different. So just now we discussed the same formula is giving aldehyde, the same formula is giving ketone. In the same way, alcohol ethers, right? Like that, many are there. Okay, we'll discuss one by one. Okay, and stereoisomers. Here, what exactly will happen? Different arrangements of atoms of groups within the space. Whereas in structural isomers, what exactly is happening? Molecule. Whereas in stereoisomers, it is around it. That means within the space. Anyway, we'll go one by one because today we don't have a sufficient time to complete all these things. So basically, iso means same. Merism means actually when we are talking about formula, formula will be same, but structures will be different, right? And before going to that, and here I wanted to tell you a small thing, that is degree of unsaturation and double bond equivalence. What is meant by degree of unsaturation? We know unsaturation. What is meant by unsaturation? If it consists of either double bond or triple bond, we can call those compounds are unsaturated. Those compounds are unsaturated. But here, degree of unsaturation is, it is not only calculation of number of pi bonds, even it comes under rings also. It can be, even we need to calculate rings also. Right? See, for example, I'll tell you, I'll give you a simple formula. From that, we will calculate the degree of unsaturation, because many times we saw some of the questions like find out the degree of unsaturation for the below compounds. All right. So here, what is the degree of unsaturation here? 0, because there is no pi bond set, and it is not at all a ring also. Either if it is a ring or pi bonds, then we can calculate its degree of unsaturation. So here degree of unsaturation is what? 0. But if you remove two hydrogens, it will become what? Alkene. Alkene. So what is the degree of unsaturation? How many pi bonds are here? 1. So what is the degree of unsaturation? 1. Whereas if you remove two more hydrogens, it will become what? Alkyne. So how many pi bonds are here? How many pi bonds are here? 2 pi bonds. One sigma bond, 2 pi bond. So, and I told you degree of unsaturation is what? Number of pi bonds plus rings. Here, is there any rings? No, no rings. But how many pi bonds we have? 2. So what is the degree of unsaturation? 2. Degree of unsaturation is 2. Right, now see here, C3H height. Is there any unsaturation? Is there any unsaturation here? Do you find any ring in this example?
No,
Do you
sir.
find any ring? No, exactly. Do you find any pi bonds? Do you find any pi bonds? Obviously, no. There is no pi bonds, right? Yes, there is no pi bonds. So degree of unsaturation here is 0. But if you find here, there is one pi bond. There is a double bond. That means one sigma bond, one pi bond. So degree of unsaturation is 1. Degree of unsaturation 1. If now see here, what is the degree of unsaturation here? 1, because it is consists of one ring. So degree of unsaturation is 1. Now we'll have some of the example. How many, what is the degree of unsaturation here in this example? First, let me check
3.
how many double. Yes, 3. Because how many pi bonds we have? 2. Plus how many rings we have? 1. Exactly. Everyone are correct, right? So total it is 3. Degree of unsaturation is 3. Whereas in this example, there is no ring, only 2. Right. See, whenever if you have a triple bond, when do you exactly very good. If you have a triple bond, what is the degree of unsaturation here? 2, because
Two.
two pi bonds are there. Exactly right. Here we have two pi bonds. Now, what is the degree of unsaturation here in this compound? One is this pi bond, exactly correct. And here two pi bonds, here one ring. 2 plus 1. Total degree of unsaturation is how much? 4. Exactly. Right. And here we have a small rule and a small formula. This formula will tell us about the degree of unsaturation. What is that? Degree of unsaturation is equals to carbon plus 1, carbon plus 1. See here it is there, no? C plus 1. That is means number of carbon atoms plus 1. Number of carbon atoms plus 1 minus hydrogen plus X. X means what? Halogens. X means
Halogen.
halogens. Exactly. X means halogen. See, I'll write, you don't confuse here. See, I'll write here C plus 1 minus hydrogen plus X minus nitrogen by 2 by 2 by 2, right? See, hydrogen, number of hydrogens, how many we have to calculate? Number of halogens, how many we have to calculate? Minus number of nitrogens by 2. Sir, if there is any oxygens and sulfur, ignore it. You don't bother about it. You just ignore it. Okay, now we have one example. See here, this is an example. Based on this, we'll just try to find out whether our example is, whether our formula is correct or not. We will check it out, right? So what is the formula? First of all, let me check how many carbon atoms are there. 4 plus 1, right? And how many hydrogens are there? 6. How many hydrogens are there? 6. Plus how many halogens are there? Bromine. So 1 halogen minus how many nitrogens are there? 1 by 2. So what it will become? Total, right?
Two, sir.
5 minus 3 equals to 2. This 2 may be what? Either it may be 2 pi bonds, either it may be 1 pi bond, 1 ring, or it may have 2 rings also. Or it may have 2 rings also, because what is the 2 degree of unsaturation? What are the probabilities that we have on 2? We may have 2 pi bonds, we may have 1 pi bond and 1 ring, and we may have 2 rings. So we'll see the structures here. See, what is the first possibility? We have 2 pi bonds. We have here also 2 pi bonds. Here also we have 2 pi bonds. So these are the possibilities. Here also 2 pi bonds possibilities, right? And what he said, 1 pi bond and 1 ring. 1 pi bond. See here 1 ring and 1 pi bond. 1 ring and 1 pi bond, right? And here 1 ring and 1 pi bond. These all are the possibilities of that degree of unsaturation, right? So what is the degree of unsaturation here? What is the degree of unsaturation here? Directly we know the formula 6. What is the formula here? C6H6. So 6 plus 1 minus number of hydrogens. Is there any halogens and nitrogens? No. So by 2. Total what it will become? 7 minus 3. So 4. And directly we can tell 3 pi bonds and 1 ring. 3 pi bonds and 1 ring. But it may or may not be always correct. That is the reason. See, if you don't know C triple bond N, how can you tell this? Here you just try to do this. Try to do this example. This example, degree of unsaturation. Generally, what we will expect, one ring, second ring, and pi bond. So generally, we will think that it is 3. But here, C triple bond N, no, cyanide means C triple bond N. So 2 more pi bonds are there. Now, please check it out in our formula way, whether it is coming or not. Total, how many carbons we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just try to do that. How many you are getting? 8 plus 1, 9. And how many hydrogens will be there? Everywhere you have to find out the hydrogens. Here 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens. And here only 1 hydrogen. And 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hydrogens minus 1. So how much? Total number of carbons are how many? 9. How many carbons are there? 9 plus 1 minus how many hydrogens we have? Exactly, Sai Mithil. No, this is 8 total. 8 carbons. Right. So 9, 8 carbons we have, right? So 9 minus 4. So 5 is the answer. 9 minus 4 equals to 5 is the answer. Did you understand? So that is the reason formula will be help out. It will be otherwise what will happen if you don't know that structure C triple bond N, then you will simply you will write 3. So please try to implement once you check with your formula also. Right? See, you just tell me what is the degree of unsaturation here. What is the degree of unsaturation? What is the degree of unsaturation? Hmm? How many carbons are there? 8 carbons are there. So 8 plus 1 minus how many hydrogens are there? Everywhere one hydrogen will be present because it is attached with 3. So 8. 8. 8 by 2. So 9 minus 4. So what is the degree of unsaturation? 5. Exactly. Because sir, how can you say that 5, sir? It looks like only I told you one ring. This is one ring beta. Ring. So like that many rings we have, no? Like that we have 5 rings. 5 rings. So this is what. Please see, and sometimes in mostly what happens in organic chemistry will confuse with the structures actually. See, this structure, whether these two are same or different. Definitely we feel that it is different, but they both are same. See, even the structure also same, but instead of writing like this, I'll write like this. So 6 only, no? For example, if I call it as 1, 2, 3, for example. So I'll put here it is 1, 2, 3. At 3 I have one more carbon. So one more carbon. And after this I have double bond. This and this same, no? That is what. So please don't confuse simply by seeing. Okay, you just try to understand it. So these two structures are same. So what is the degree of unsaturation here? Can you please, what is the degree of unsaturation here for this compound? How many carbons we have? How many carbons we have? 7 carbons. Because this is also one carbon, no, bridged carbon. We can call it as bridged carbon. How many carbons we have total? 7. 7 carbons we will have, right? So 8 minus 4. Because see how many carbons we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what is the formula? 7 plus 1 carbons minus how many hydrogens we have? 8 hydrogens we have. How can you say that it is 8 hydrogen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here, right? So total we have how many hydrogens we have? 8 hydrogens we have. Once if you want, you can just check it out here. Valence is here. What is the 3 bonds are over. So how many hydrogens we have? 1. Here 1. Here also 1. Here 1. Here 2 will be present, right? And like that it is 8. So 8 by 2. So 8 minus 4. So degree of unsaturation is 4. How can you say that it is degree of unsaturation is 4? 1, 2. And it is having 2 rings. This is 1 ring and this is 1 ring. So total we have 2 rings. Hmm?
Second one we have one ring and two double bonds.
Total 4. How many double bonds we have? 1, 2. And these are 2 rings, no? Here bridge is there, no? Between that it is C. It is splitting, no? 2 rings are there. No, this is 1 ring and this is 1 ring. So 2 pentanes like it is there, no? So 2 rings, right? Did you all understand, ma? So tomorrow we will discuss about all. Tomorrow we'll discuss isomerism. So please practice this degree of unsaturation. I think you might have understand this. So do you have any doubts from today's class? Do you have any doubts? Right. Thank you. Thank you.